A stranger on my flight started crying, and the 6 hours that followed changed how I live my life. He was in the window seat, and I didn't notice him crying until the drink cart passed and the flight attendant asked if he was all right. And he said yes in the voice of someone who was very clearly not. I am not a talk to strangers on planes person. Headphones in before the seatbelt sign, kept there until the wheels touched down. I had a podcast queued, a blanket, a system. I took my headphones out. I didn't say anything profound, just asked if he wanted some water because I had an extra bottle, and sometimes that's the only door that needs to open. His name was Robert, 63 years old, retired engineer, on a Tuesday afternoon flight because his son had called him the previous evening for the first time in 11 years and asked him to come. 11 years. He told me the shape of it over the first hour. A divorce when his son was 16 that Robert described, with the economy of a man who has rehearsed the summary so many times it no longer sounds like pain, but still is. He hadn't fought hard enough for the relationship afterward. His words, repeated twice, with the emphasis of someone delivering a verdict they had already accepted. His son James had moved across the country with his mother. Calls became less frequent than stopped, and 11 years passed, the way time passes when you are ashamed, quickly and without mercy. James had a daughter now, 4 years old. Robert had never met her. He showed me a photo on his phone, a little girl in a yellow raincoat standing in a puddle with both arms out like she was trying to catch the rain. Robert had looked at that photo for 11 years worth of missing in a single evening. He was terrified. Not of James's anger. He said he deserved whatever James needed to say and meant it fully. He was terrified he would land and find a stranger standing where his boy used to be. That 11 years was simply too much distance for any amount of love to cross. I thought about my own father for the first time in a long time, 2 states away. Calls every Sunday that I sometimes let go to voicemail because I am busy or tired or just not in the mood. Always planning to call back, always finding reasons why next month makes more sense than now. I didn't say any of that to Robert. I just listened. He talked for 4 hours. Specific memories, the kind that tell you a person was paying attention even when you think they weren't. The way James laughed. A science fair project they built together the year before everything fell apart. A camping trip, just the two of them, where it rained for 3 straight days, and they played cards in the tent, and Robert said it was the best weekend of his life. And then his voice stopped working for a moment. When we started descending, he went quiet. I asked if he was okay. He said he didn't know what he was going to say when he saw him. I said maybe he didn't need to have it figured out. That James hadn't called because he wanted a perfect speech. That 11 years of silence breaking meant somebody decided the distance was worth crossing, and that was already the hardest part done. Robert nodded slowly. Then he said thank you in the way people say it when they mean something much larger than the word. We landed, collected bags in silence the way you do when something real has passed between two people, and words would only reduce it. At the arrivals gate, he stopped and shook my hand and held it for a moment longer than a handshake requires. Then he walked through those doors. I called my father from the parking lot before I started my car. He picked up on the second ring and sounded so genuinely happy to hear my voice that I had to look at the ceiling of my car for a moment. I don't let it go to voicemail anymore.